in maksimal 15 menit sebelum acara berlangsung. Yang ketiga, aktifkan mode mute saat acara berlangsung. Yang keempat, pengajuan pertanyaan dapat melalui chat atau disampaikan secara langsung dengan terlebih dahulu klik icon raise hand. Dan jangan lupa ya mengisi daftar hadir saat acara berlangsung. Ikuti acara sampai dengan selesai. Okay, first of all, let's pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who give us a mercy, guidance, happiness, and healthy, so we can attend and participate in a good condition. Baik, Bapak Ibu, sebelum acara ini kita mulai, mari sejenak menundukkan kepala untuk berdoa agar acara hari ini berjalan dengan baik dan membawa manfaat buat kita semua. Berdoa dimulai. Berdoa dicukupkan. Saatnya menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya disusul dengan himne ITS. Let us continue with the singing of our national anthem Indonesia Raya. Following that, we will using the hymn of ITS. To all participants in Zoom meeting, take a ready position. Mas Tondo, please. All participants, thank you. The next agenda is documentation. Mas Tondo, please. I invite all participants to open camera, please. Okay, Mas Tondo, thank you. Now, without further ado, let's welcome to Miss Christy Pineda to begin her presentation on Scopus AI. Please, Mrs. Christy Pineda, the federal floor is yours.
Thank you, Ibu. Salamat pagi, everyone. So my name is Christy Pineda. I am the solution manager responsible for Scopus, and I'm actually based in the Philippines. I've also would like to acknowledge in this webinar my colleague, Mr. Or Dr. Ramat Andang. So Dr. Ramat is our customer success manager. He is responsible for post-sales trainings, seminars, or more in-depth seminars on a publisher perspective. Dr. Ramat is actually based in Indonesia. Okay. Now, I'd like to start with the presentation.
Selamat pagi, salam kenal Bapak Ibu semua. You can continue, Kristen.
Okay. Terima kasih ya. Okay, so the presentation is entitled Scopus AI in terms of trusted content and powered by specifically responsible AI. Now, to give you a quick overview, we have activated a trial for Scopus and Scopus AI for ETS starting today up until April 30 or end of the month. So those of you who have attended my training in February, that was in particular or particularly for Scopus.com. This time around, we are including Scopus AI on the trial for you to be able to use and assess if this is something that would be helpful for your research workflow. Okay. Now, before I move on to Scopus AI and what it's about, I'd like to do a recap about Scopus.com. Okay. So Scopus is one of the premier and research databases of Elsevier. Currently, it is the largest multidisciplinary abstract and citation database. Okay. We have over 7,000 publishers that are indexed on Scopus from over 29,000 active serial titles, over 300,000 books or book articles indexed on Scopus, and over 23 million open access items. We also have over 19 million author profiles on Scopus and over 99,000 affiliation or institutional profiles. Now, Scopus again is an abstract database. So it is not a full text database. So for full text, you normally could just go to either Science Direct to get the full text or whichever publisher database that you have subscription to. Okay. So Scopus is known to be a gold standard because 40% of our data is actually used by some of the ranking bodies like THE or Times Higher Education, as well as QS, world rankings. So these are the basis of their assessment of their rankings of a specific institution. So Scopus is actually comprised by a board. We call them the Content Selection and Advisory Board. So they actually are the ones responsible for curating, for selecting what publications could be indexed on Scopus, what actually falls within their criteria. I know that for ETS, you have a lot of these Scopus index publications already, and you must be um, familiar already with the process. But just to give you some facts about how rigid and thorough the process is, um, if you look at the lower rightmost portion where we have stages for Scopus evaluation, on an average, we get submissions or title suggestions of around 3,500 individual titles per year. From that number, on the stage two, 51% only meets the Scopus minimum criteria. And from that 51%, only 48% are accepted by the CSAB board upon their review. And as a result, only 857 individual serial titles, or roughly only one-fourth of the initial submissions, are indexed. So why are we highlighting this? We are highlighting this because we'd want you to know how rigid and thorough the process is to make sure that the contents that you find in Scopus are timely, that they are credible, that they are reliable. In fact, um, the Scopus board reviews what goes into Scopus, and they remove those inactive journals. So you could also go to scopus.com and download the list of active journals so that this could act as your guide to tell you what journals are still active and what kind of journals, either it's Q1 or Q2, that you may want to publish with. Okay. So that is the goal of Scopus. Okay. Now, when we look at the current research landscape right now, some of the concerns that we have seen is the research landscape is very complex. There's a lot of information out there, but sometimes it gets too overwhelming and it eats up a lot of time for researchers like you. There can be a lot, but still limited search tools that are credible, that are scientific, which makes your searches a bit inefficient. Okay. And there are also disciplinary silos, which results to limited collaboration with your peers. And because of these challenges in the research, in academics, it results to a lot of missed opportunities. This could be delay in publication, in submission, and even for the undergrads, it's quite a challenge to look for credible sources that you could use for your thesis, right? And as a result, again, we have lower academic and societal impact. Okay. And these, because of this, Scopus or Elsevier has actually come up with Scopus AI. That is the Scopus AI advantage. So at this point, I would like to do a live demo. So let me know if you could see the web page or the URL for Scopus. Okay. So for Scopus AI, this could actually be found under scopus.com. As you can see here, we have the Scopus AI feature. So I will try, in fact, to search or explore topics in Bahasa. Okay. Thank you to my colleague for translating this. Right. So as you can see, it's very conversational. So those can be some of the questions that you could type on Scopus AI. Okay. Good. So with Scopus AI, it provides you a summary on in terms of responses for your queries. Okay. So this is one way of us supporting the challenge on information overload. So where it actually gets its source from still comes from Scopus. Again, and because we have a CSAB or a Scopus board that oversees the contents, so what you could generate out of these Scopus AI results are not hallucinations. Okay. These are actual curated sources coming from Scopus.com. Here, you could actually find links to those references. Okay. That also leads you to the abstract or even link to that particular document. So here we are directed to a page from Scopus showing you the specific article and the publication, details of that publication, which is indicated here, the number of citations in Scopus, how many percentile, and the field-weighted citation impact. Okay. Going back to the result earlier. Okay. So unlike any other AI, Scopus generates its results, or Scopus AI rather generates its results from Scopus. And on top of that, on top of the vector search, we put another layer to make sure that these are scientific and curated information that you get out of generating Scopus AI. From the basic summary, you could still go in depth by looking at the expanded summary. In fact, the results that you could get from Scopus AI, if you continue to, let's say, search for or inquire the same inquiry, it could be different at times. That is because on the side of Scopus, we continuously update the contents on a monthly basis. So whatever is more relevant, that's what is being pushed as a result. From the expanded summary that you see here, we have also what we call a concept map. Now, this concept map could act as a guide for you to see or to check or to assess what other topics that you could explore out of this inquiry. What could still be related? And because of this concept map, a lot of the feedback coming from researchers is that they now enjoy doing research because it has been very, very easy and efficient for them to get the necessary sources, to get the necessary information coming from scientific sources. So that also makes them confident that the contents that they get out of these database, Scopus and Scopus AI, is indeed credible. Okay. You could also find topic experts. Now, if you would want to check who would be the potential collaborators specific to your field of study, you could also use Scopus AI to efficiently give you that result or that information. In this case, we have Dr. Putri. Okay, you could also click the link to view the profile, which again will lead you to an overview, and link to the full profile, which could be seen in the Scopus platform. Okay. So looking at this particular researcher, you could also see the number of citations. Okay. He has the number of documents, the H index. What are the specific articles relating to this field? Okay. Right. So it actually provides you with a number of researchers whom you can potentially collaborate with based on the topic of interest or the inquiry that you have indicated on Scopus AI. We also have emerging themes, which at this point is still on a beta phase. Okay, for the emerging themes, it would actually show you what are the other hot topics based on keywords relating to your searches. Okay. Now, if you'd want to go deeper or ask more about this particular topic, there are some suggestions here, or you may also do a follow-up question. Okay, let's start first with this one. So when you have clicked on the suggested follow-up question, it again provides you that information like the summary of that inquiry, the references, okay, and links to those references. Another expanded summary relating to this. So as you can see, while it is an AI technology, it becomes very in-depth. And the difference is you have the sources. You have the links to these sources. That makes it credible, that makes it reliable, and also that makes it easy for you to directly go to these references. So definitely one of the things that it could address is efficiency in the workflow. Okay. It could also act again as a guide to show you the other topics relating as an immediate link to topic experts for further collaboration. Okay. Okay. And in this case, there's already an emerging theme for this. Okay. These are some of the related themes to your topic. Okay. With links again to references, again, all coming from Scopus. Okay. But this time, I will go back to the PowerPoint presentation. To provide you with a brief on what are some of those use cases that Scopus AI can support in general. First, as you have seen, it is finding references that are reliable, that is credible, and that are trusted. So it gives you that confidence as a researcher that what you're actually looking at are scientific information and it's not hallucinations. Okay? Getting familiar with a new topic, especially that research is becoming interdisciplinary at this point. So it makes it very easy for you to get more information, to be provided with links to a particular article or a particular author who may be an expert in that particular field. Deepening understanding of research topic. As you can see, we have a very thorough summary generated out of Scopus AI, and there's even an expanded summary. On top of that, you have the concept map to guide you. Better articulating a hypothesis or idea. Because again, you are actually given um, curated information that would support you in this workflow. Explaining a complex topic. As you can see, it was very straightforward when we have generated results coming from Scopus AI. So even undergrads would be able to use this technology to support you in your thesis, um, in your own research. Okay. And the good thing about that is that you're assured that this comes from scientific information and not on Google, right? And also the ease of collaborating with peers, looking for potential collaborators that would be able to help you, that you could collaborate for your publications as well. Okay. Now, this is just a brief also of the difference comparing Scopus AI with other Gen AI tools. Okay. Yes, some may be free. Some also have citable sources. It looks sophisticated. But the question there is, are the sources really credible? Are they really scientific? At first glance, it may look as if it is scholarly. But how do you check? How will you know that these are not just made up or that these are not just hallucinations? That is the guarantee of Scopus AI. Because again, it sits under the Scopus platform that generates the data out of Scopus that is backed up and curated by a board to make sure that the contents are indeed authentic, that they are credible. Okay. So overall, Scopus AI comes from or generates trusted content. It has a cutting edge technology because it eliminates any hallucinations that you could also generate from other AI tools. It is focused and you could rely on those results. Now, Scopus AI helps you definitely understand a research topic far more efficiently and insightfully than ever. And I think it would once we have also the trial activated, you could see within the day that there should be a Scopus AI on the Scopus platform. Feel free to use it yourselves. So you could attest that indeed this is something that is efficient for you and that what it actually generates are credible information, that the insights that you get are helpful and scientific to what you're actually working on for your research topic. Now, one of the questions as well that we hear from a lot of the researchers is the use of AI and research ethics. So, separately, Elsevier has a seminar to provide more information about this. And my colleague, as I have introduced earlier, is one of those speakers who are actually working and providing this insights as well. But in a nutshell, what I'd like to show you also is, and to give you a guide, how Elsevier as a publisher is responding to the use of AI and research ethics. Okay, so we have gathered or we have done discussions with a lot of academic leaders and even funders worldwide. Okay, and based on those discussions, what we have heard from them is two concerns. One is the governance of AI. Okay, this is the highest priority at this point. However, in terms of preparedness of each institutions, it is quite low at this point because some may not be ready, some are still doing their own guidelines for on how to use AI. And the second is the appropriate use of AI. Now, in research, Um, it may not be as high priority right now because in terms of use, everybody's there's an ease of use when you use AI for your research. Again, the preparedness for the appropriate use is low because of the lack of the guidelines. Okay. Overall, 64% say that AI governance is a high priority, but only 23% are well prepared for this challenge. One of those academic leaders in Asia Pacific has mentioned that AI in general can undermine the basis on which we conduct assessment. It can lead to, yes, falsification of research results, but it could also give organizations, researchers like you, a significant edge in terms of back of house efficiency. A lot of the universities will be scrambling now to make sure that they're taking full advantage of those efficiencies so they can invest the money saved elsewhere. So it's really the efficiency that we're actually looking at. Now, on Elsevier's point of view on AI, especially on writing and publishing research, we are telling you that yes, you could use AI for your research. However, it is critical to proceed with caution. Okay, and why? Why do you have to be very cautious about this? Make sure that the sources um, where you find this information are authentic. And um, those are some of the concerns. A lot of these are inauthentic sources, inaccurate data. Because again, the hallucinations that you get out of general AI, the loss of human expertise, some ethical concerns, limited understanding, security and privacy, and the lack of creativity and originality. So some could just rely on AI and maybe plagiarize or copy and paste. So that is not what you want to do here. What authors can use AI for, you could use AI to help you in terms of efficiency, readability, and language of the work, to check, to assess. Okay. What author cannot use AI for? It is producing science. Do not use AI to produce scientific work, pedagogic or medical insights, drawing scientific conclusions, or providing clinical recommendations, because you still need that human factor. Yeah, all these ideas needs to come from you as a researcher. And if author did use AI assisted tech in writing, should it be disclosed? The answer is yes. So author should disclose in the manuscript that the use of AI and AI assisted technologies in their statement. Declaring the use of these technologies support transparency between authors and readers. So where do you indicate this? You could indicate this on the footnote, as you could see here in the bottom. During the preparation of this work, the author yourself or the tool used in order to reason. After using this tool or service, the author reviewed and edited the content as needed and takes full responsibility for the content of the publication. Okay. So that is one takeaway that you could use when you use AI with your research. And how do you actually disclose this? Okay. On the side of Elsevier, as a community, we adhere to what we call responsible AI. And how do we do that? How do we make sure? First, we consider real world impact of our solutions on people. So we work with ethics on the ethical standards. We take action to prevent the creation or reinforcement of unfair bias. Okay. So we report it or we generate the data as it is, okay, with no bias included. We explain how solutions work. So if you look at our page, elsevier.com, you could see there what goes into Scopus AI, what technology does it go into. Okay. We create accountability through human oversight. That is why we have the Scopus content board in place. And finally, we respect privacy and champion robust data governance. So we make sure that what you search in there is not is actually secured on a secured environment. Okay. And on the side of Elsevier as well, we continuously monitor what are the developments on AI, and at the same time, we continue to respond to this challenge, to respond to this need, to be able to make sure that what you get, what is generated, are adheres to ethical standards when it comes to publication and content. Okay. So at this point, that is the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise it. I would be happy to address them. So again, the Scopus and Scopus AI trial is active from today until April 30. You could go to www.scopus.com and please feel free to use it. Yes, Ibu Marhasa.
Marjasa.
Marjasa, Ibu. Hello.
Yeah.
Selamat pagi.
Hello. Nice to meet you. I tried to open the Scopus AI, but I cannot find.
Okay. But are you able to access scopus.com?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let me just fix it also back end. We have refreshed the access. You should be able to have that access today or latest by tomorrow. I'm also coordinating with Ibu Astutik on that.
Yeah, because I'm not in the campus area. I'm outside from the campus.
Yeah. Yeah, you should still be able to access it. As long because for ETS, your access should also be via remote access, which is using your ETS email.
Oh, okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I will update Ibu Astutik on that. But thank you for raising.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Thank you.
Ya, bagi Bapak Ibu dan teman-teman yang ingin bertanya, silakan sampaikan pertanyaan di kolom chat ya. Nanti akan dijawab secara langsung. Ya, untuk saat ini memang masih di database di website perpustakaan ITS ada Scopus AI ya. Tapi belum ada fitur AI-nya. Jadi insya Allah menyusul kayak gitu. Dan yang bagi Ibu seperti Bu Mariska tadi, yang di luar kampus pakai VPN off kampus ya Bu? Oke.
We have another question.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
now we will move on the Q&A session.
oh,
Once again, for participants who would like to ask question, please write your question in the chat box or use the raise hand feature to speak directly. Another question? Adi raise ya. Raise hand. Firas could be Sidki. Yang tadi ya, yang mencantumkan Scopus AI itu ya. Cuma link Scopus AI doang ya, Mas Firas ya.
Yeah.
Ya, masih,
Uh, yeah, thank you very much for the time. So, first of all, I would like to say thank you for providing this such facility that I think it's quite helpful for me. And I've tried it already. I just sent a prompt and it gets quite good and it cites some relevant topics that in line with my research, and it's quite good. And then I would like to ask about the limitation. I mean, when we use ChatGPT for, of course, we know ChatGPT to search for the research gap or the something new. I cannot find the citation most of the time, but for this time it's good. But for the limitation, is it possible for us to be like run out of the token like ChatGPT does in the free session, or is it possible like when we uh search a lot of things and then it will be paused or something like that. So, and in the future, do you have a visible plan or something like that? Will it be like a paid feature or is it still be a free one? So yeah, I think that's all from you. Thank you.
Okay. So did you mean like uh customize pa? Customize page wherein, for example, you have specific research topics and you'd want some of those searches saved?
Mhm.
Is
Uh, Uh, yeah, that could be like if you think like this, it's good, but what I mean is in ChatGPT, if I search a lot, it will run out of token and it will not answer my question in precise answer. It will answer in such a weird way. So unless if I pay for the plan, so yeah, it will continue to answer me in the correct way that I want. So yeah, I mean that way. I mean that thing. Yeah.
Okay, clear. Thank you, Pat, for clarifying. So Scopus and Scopus AI, they actually require subscription. But this time around, until April 30, we have provided free access or trial to ETS so that you as a researcher could use this. So once your library or your institution has subscribed to this, you would be able to reap the whole benefit of the solution. So it's unlimited. You don't have to pay extra for asking further questions. Or as you can see, I even ask question in Bahasa.
All right. Thank you.
So
So is it possible to pay independently?
unfortunately for this, it's only available for institutional access.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, makasih. Sama-sama. I think I will leave the perpustakaan to answer um, uh, Welly's inquiry. Scopus AI ETS has subscribed or just trial? Uh, so right now, yes, it is actually on a trial period. But once subscribed, you should be able to access unlimited um, the um, advantage or the benefits of Scopus and at the same time Scopus AI.
Ya, Bapak Ibu dan teman-teman mahasiswa, ini ITS akan insya Allah akan berlanggan AI dan ini AI, fokus AI gitu ya. Jadi insya Allah ini trial dulu. Kemarin sudah Scopus mulai sampai 22 Maret ya, Februari sampai Maret. Sekarang kita pertimbangkan untuk berlangganan dengan Scopus AI dan trialnya ini mulai tanggal 14 sampai April kayak gitu. Jadi semoga nanti ada feedback dari teman-teman, jadi kita mudah untuk mengusulkan ke manajemen, ke WR2 seperti itu. Jadi kalau mau mengakses sekali lagi ke website perpustakaan ITS, buat ITS dan ke link e-resource, di resource ada database, di database di situ dicantumkan link dari Scopus AI. Dan Scopus AI-nya masih menyusul gitu ya. Will be installed. Begitu. Jadi kunjungi website perpustakaan ITS sekali lagi di fitur di database collection. Oke, ini ada yang nanya tentang sertifikat untuk webinar ini. untuk sosialisasi kali ini kita tidak ada ya, karena trial, maksudnya trial. Nanti mungkin kalau kita sudah melanggar dan kita sosialisasi lagi, nanti kita adakan sertifikat seperti itu. Okay, once more, Christy,
Yeah.
could you explain once more the main difference between conventional Scopus and Scopus AI? What advantage does this AI technology offer on the platform?
That's a very good question. Thank you for raising that. So Scopus is the indexation and abstract database. So you could actually search on Scopus. I think it's better if I do the live demo while I explain. Scripting. Okay. So for scopus.com, you could search for information using this um, search searches. You could search either by document search, by author search, if you know a particular author. If you want to look for collaborators based on keywords, okay, or in terms of organization. What Scopus AI does is um, pushing or harnessing relevant information relating to a particular question. So it's like conversational with Scopus AI. And while it actually generates, yes, you're right, it generates the data coming from Scopus. In this case, it makes it even faster, it makes it even efficient to get the sources. Okay. So again, comparing it, this is the result coming from Scopus AI, which provides the summary, right? And this topic, for example, is on my marine biodiversity in coastal regions. Okay. Let me go to just plain Scopus. Let's looking for documents on that in particular. It would generate those documents again, but you would be getting a lot of those documents. So sometimes it could be overwhelming. It is not very curated to a specific inquiry. Because in this case, you are searching based on keywords. Okay. Although you could actually filter them, but see the time that you would take to generate information, okay, versus when throwing in just a question from Scopus AI. So here, you could search one by one for potential documents. You could also search for collaborators based on the topic. Okay. Again, it gives you a lot of information, a lot of results from this. Okay. And it would be up to you to filter. While for Scopus AI, when you ask that conversational question, what impact do very specific. So the results are very specific when it comes to Scopus AI as it pushes for specific and highly relatable sources. Okay. So I hope that clarifies and that also answers your question.
Yeah, thank you. It's clear, Christy, for me. Okay, once more. And what advantage does Scopus AI have compared to other research database that have also adopted AI technology, Christy? Mr. Christy.
The
Yes.
fact that Scopus AI gets the information coming from Scopus, that is one way where we could um, assure you that the contents are reliable because again, when I started my presentation, I showed that there is a Scopus advisory board. So whatever contents that goes into Scopus itself is already curated. Okay. So aside from aside from vector search, aside from adaptive AI that we use, the contents that it harvests are all backed up by human um, to make sure that these are authentic, that these are not just hallucinations, which may appear to be the case when you try to search with other databases that seems like it is scholarly, that it is scientific, but when you dig deeper, it might not have the resource in place, or it might not have the authentication in place that is guaranteed to you by Scopus in itself.
Oke, thank you, Miss Christy. Teman-teman ada lagi yang mau nanya? Saya informasikan sekali lagi ya bahwa saat ini Scopus dan Scopus AI lagi trial kayak gitu ya. Dan teman-teman bisa mengaksesnya di website perpustakaan ITS www.its.ac.id/perpustakaan di fitur e-resource. Di situ ada beberapa e-resource perpustakaan ITS ya. Ada repository, ada e-journal, ada e-book dan ada database. Tepatnya adalah di database. Dan nanti teman-teman ada menemui database online ini ada Scopus dan Scopus AI. Jadi masih terpisah kayak gitu ya. Oke, ada lagi teman-teman yang ingin bertanya? Oke, udah jam waktunya ya. Pak Rahmat, selamat pagi Pak Rahmat. Mungkin Pak Rahmat bisa menambahkan ya. Maaf dalam bahasa Indonesia. Pak Rahmat ini tadi mohon maaf saya tidak menyapa karena saya tidak tahu kalau Bapak ada kayak gitu. Pak Rahmat selamat pagi.
So I
Oh,
think Pak Ramat he actually left for another meeting.
oh oke. Oke, Bapak Ibu dan teman-teman mahasiswa ada lagi yang mau ditanyakan mumpung Miss Kristinya ada di sini kayak gitu. Dan sekali lagi saya minta feedbacknya ya. Jadi semakin banyak feedback bagus nanti semoga kita juga secepatnya melanggar Scopus AI kayak gitu. Oke, cukup ya Pak. Oh ya, sekali lagi
Bu,
jangan lupa presensinya teman-teman. Ya, yang ada di kolom chat. Oke. Miss Christy, I think is enough. It's 1 hour going. Oke. Teman-teman,
Bu Eva,
ya,
maaf. Eh, ini kan yang di
database.
perpustakaan ITS
Ya,
itu udah ada tuh logonya Scopus
ya,
AI. Tapi pas kita klik tampilannya berbeda dengan yang disajikan sama eh apa ini namanya tadi?
Bu Christy.
Bu Kristi ya.
Bu Christy. Iya, ini ada dua. Ya, dari Scopus yang kemarin kita 1 bulan yang kemarin udah trial kayak gitu. Dan sekarang adalah Scopus AI. Jadi Bu Marjasa ITS ini insya Allah akan melanggar Scopus gitu ya. Dan kemarin setelah hasil finalisasi Scopus, kita berkeinginan juga untuk Scopus AI karena banyak sekali mahasiswa yang menginginkan untuk melanggar Scopus. Dan akhirnya kita upgrade insya Allah kita bikin perbandingan kalau misalkan ditambahi Scopus AI itu gimana sih gitu. Makanya akhirnya kita sosial itu untuk Scopus AI hari ini. Jadi kita cantumkan 2 database gitu ya. Ada Scopus dan Scopus AI. Bu Marjasa sudah bisa ini ya, sudah bisa akses ya. Walaupun
Saya
dari luar.
iya saya buka kan Bu, tapi tampilannya memang kan di dalam di yang perpustakaan ITS itu Scopus AI, Scopus gitu. Dia ada 2 kan, database online itu ada 2 tampilan kan, Scopus AI sama Scopus aja. Tapi pas saya klik isinya sama. Apa saya yang salah ya?
Ya, sebentar mungkin IT kita lagi mengkoreksi. Betul ya, Mas Tondo? Lagi dicek kembali ya, Ibu Mardiasa.
Baik.
Scopus AI-nya yang belum benar yang Scopus ya? Yang Bu Mardiasa. Oh, sudah benar dua-duanya loh.
Ya kan tadi
Seperti
kan
kan udah menggunakan WiFi ITS apa VPN of campus gitu ya, Ibu Mardiasa sudah menggunakan.
oke, saya coba dulu. Soalnya ini lagi buka websitenya banyak. Oke, saya coba ulang lagi lah, Bu. Saya
Iya,
coba ulang lagi.
iya.
Thank you.
Terima kasih, Bu Mardiasa. Ya, ada lagi teman-teman?
Saya Bu,
Ya, Bapak Andri.
ya, saya kebetulan coba yang Scopus AI ini. Jadi fungsinya itu dia sebagai untuk mengenerate ini ya, seperti misalkan ide-ide baru, mungkin lebih ke arah situ ya Bu ya.
Kalau dari penjelasan, iya. Ibu, ya, mungkin Bu Kristi, the function of Scopus AI, the question from Bapak Andri Robiana. Halo?
Sorry, Ibu, could you please repeat the question?
This is the question for Bapak Robi, the function of Scopus AI.
The version is actually 2025 already because we did some enhancements. It was only launched in 2024. In terms of the contents that Scopus AI generates, it comes from way back 2003 up to present.
This is only a generates.
Yes, when it generates the contents, it's from 2003 up to present.
Iya, Pak Robi. Seperti itu jawaban dari Bu Kristi. Is that clear? Pak
Oke
Robi?
Bu, oke Bu. Saya
Oke.
coba,
Iya,
oh
Pak Andri.
saya bisa share nggak ya? Ya,
Mas Tondo bisa Pak Andri Robinya minta tolong dijadikan co-host. Beliau mau share. Andri Robiana. Oke, Pak Andri sekarang sudah dijadikan co-host. Silakan Bapak. Kalau mau share, monggo Pak. Sudah bisa share.
terus seperti ini ya Bu ya. Jadi ketika eh, saya misalkan tadi melakukan, oh apa sih yang relate untuk eh, misalkan customer retention gitu. Berarti ini mengenerate paper-paper yang memang dia itu ada di Scopus di antara tahun 2003 sampai sekarang berarti gitu ya.
Iya, tadi penjelasan dari Bu Kristi.
Oke. Oke, Bu. Makasih, Bu. Saya
Ya,
sudah bisa. Oke.
oke. Terima kasih Pak Andri. Skopus. Bisa bayangan. Intinya begini ya, teman-teman, saya informasikan bahwa Scopus AI ini ada di dalam Scopus kayak gitu. Ada di eh, ketika kita akan melanggar Scopus AI, fitur Scopus AI ini ada dalam Scopus begitu. Gitu ya. Nanti seperti itu kalau kita melanggan. Tidak terpisah seperti ini karena ini kan memang masih trial kayak gitu. Nanti jadi satu. Ya, semoga aja dilanggan. Jadi Scopus AI-nya bisa menyatu dengan Scopus dan kita tidak kesusahan lagi untuk akses. Begitu ya teman-teman mahasiswa. Oke. Ah, Bu Kristi,
Yes, Ibu?
when Scopus AI will be installed in our Scopus trial?
When Scopus AI, please expect it within the day. I was already talking to our IT support on that.
Oh gitu ya.
Yeah.
Insya Allah
So
hari
please
itu deh.
expect it. Just continue to log into scopus.com. It should appear on your the platform.
Gitu ya, ya teman-teman ya jawaban dari Ibu Kristi. Jadi insya Allah segera akan diinstal kayak gitu. Ditunggu aja segera kayak gitu. Oke teman-teman, ada yang pertanyaan lagi? It's time jam 11. Ada lagi? Ada. This is the last question for Ferdian. Ferdian, Raisen. Oke, Ferdian Zaki Ramansa.
Okay, my name is Widan Sigaramansa from Kinematics Engineering. I want to ask about the function of Scopus AI. After we chat with Scopus AI in the platform, can we make a advanced question or follow-up question after we generate the first of all?
Yes, yes, you can. So like what I've shown earlier, there is also a again, let me just go back to the platform. Let's see.
Ini lagi didemokan.
Sorry, let me just go back.
Once more about function of Scopus AI.
There is a sorry, yeah. I'll just okay. So there is actually a a tab there where you could ask more questions. Okay. So for example, I will just click on this one of the examples. Okay. Here, ask a follow-up question. So again, you could ask a follow-up question either in Bahasa or in English, whatever would be comfortable for you. There are also suggested questions here to go deeper or make your own follow-up question. And note that the results is not the same each time you ask a question on Scopus AI, because like I've mentioned, we update the information or the data on Scopus itself on a monthly basis. So expect that there would be changes in the responses or the results based on what is most relevant, okay, and most updated. Here you could do follow-up question. So I'm just going to
Boleh dilanggan ya Pak.
So there, I asked a follow-up question from the initial inquiry. So it gave me these results. This was my follow-up question.
So, but the answer is the deeper one or generate new one answer.
It
Like,
actually generates another one because it's a further inquiry. It's yeah. So because the initial inquiry was how does chronic deep sleep deprivation affect cognitive decline in aged populations? And then I asked another, if you notice the references, let's take this for example. These are the references on the first inquiry. The next is from the follow-up question. These are the references. So the results are different. It also gives suggested inquiries that you may also want to explore. Example, this one. Again, the results would be different. Even the references are different. Whatever would be relevant to that topic.
okay, sir, thank you for your answer.
Sama-sama.
Terima kasih pertanyaannya Mas Ferdian. Thank you, Miss Christy. I think it's time. Okay, Miss Christy Pineda, thank you very much. Those the presentation, and thank you for your good presentation, and all of us get value and benefit from your presentation. Oke, Bapak Ibu, waktunya sudah 1 jam ya, dan sudah lebih 12 menit. Demikian rangkaian acara workshop perpustakaan ITS hari ini. Semoga acara ini dapat membawa manfaat untuk kita semua. Dan saya informasikan kembali bahwa saat ini Scopuss SI dan Scopuss lagi trial ya sampai 2 Mei 2025. Gitu. Silakan diakses di website perpustakaan ITS www.its.ac.id/perpustakaan di fitur e-resource, tepatnya adalah di database gitu ya. Ada 2 database, Scopus dan Scopuss AI. Mungkin habis ini Scopuss AI langsung dicantumkan di fiturnya Scopus seperti itu. Okay, well, everyone, so now we have come to the end of this training, and I'm sorry for some mistake. Thank you for joining and your nice intention. Okay, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Miss Christy, thank you very much.
Sama-sama. Terima kasih. Salamat.